And I'm going to be your moderator for tonight, and welcome to Choices and Challenges. Tonight we're going to discuss the changing face of high school soccer, and importantly, what it means to all you people sitting here in the audience. We appreciate you all coming tonight and look forward to a lively and informative discussion. Before getting to the subject matter, a couple things. First, if you haven't done it already, please silence your cell phones. And just note that this is being recorded for distribution at a later date. Also, a little housekeeping. I want to recognize a few people here. First, thanks to the Staples High School Boys Soccer Program and Coach Wogue for putting this on, and its fabulous parent volunteers who had a really nice room for all the guests and helped put this together. To the Staples Top of the Hill Booster Club, we've got Dan Donovan and Todd Coleman and Wes Malowitz here. I don't know if anybody else, Stuart, anybody who helped fund this and sponsor this, as well as the Westport Soccer Association with Wes Malowitz as the president for sponsors. So thank you all for making this happen. Importantly, I want to thank the gentlemen sitting on the dais, who you will meet shortly. They've traveled from some places very far to be here tonight and volunteered their time and talents to help us sort through all the issues that we're going to discuss tonight. So why are we all here? On February 10th, 2012, the governing body of soccer in the United States, U.S. Soccer, announced the expansion of the Development Academy season to 10 months, which puts it in direct conflict with the high school soccer season. In the words of U.S. men's national team head coach Jurgen Klinsmann, if we want our players to someday compete against the best in the world, it is critical for their development that they train and play as much as possible and in the right environment. The Development Academy 10-month season is the right formula and provides a good balance between training time and playing competitive matches. This is the model that the best countries around the world use for their programs, and I think it makes perfect sense that we do as well. So as we think about Jurgen's rationale for the change, the key word to keep in mind tonight is choice, hence the title of the forum. The good news is that all of you sitting in the room tonight have more choices than ever before about where you're going to play, who you're going to play with. When most of us were growing up, you played for your town team, you went to college, and that was it. The explosion of choice is amazing. It also creates some challenges, hence the other part of the title. The bad news is that these choices can be complicated, they can be confusing, they can be frustrated, they can have different motives, and tonight we're going to sort through all that. So our goal tonight is to give you and the audience the framework and the tools you need to make the best decision based on your personal circumstances. What's right for one player might not be right for another player. It can be completely opposite. The choice is yours, and we're really lucky to have an esteemed panel of experts that can speak to all sides of the issue. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to introduce each one of the panelists and ask them to briefly say a few words about the topic from their perspective. Once this is done, I'm going to ask the panel some questions, many of which were sent via the internet, via the Staples Soccer website. Once that is done, we're going to open up to questions. We'll have a couple mics up front. We'll invite you to ask your questions to the panel. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with our college coaches. And Kevin Anderson is the head coach at Columbia University. His third year at Columbia, he's rejuvenated the program, leading the Lions to their best record in over a decade. Prior to that, he was an assistant at Boston College and his alma mater, Southern Connecticut State University. He played for many years in Major League Soccer with Tampa Bay and Colorado, as well as the A-League. 4 times, both in college and professionally, he was a national champion, including being an NSCAA All-American while leading his alma mater, Southern, to a Division II national title in his senior year. He holds a National A coaching license from the USSF, and we're really happy and pleased to have him. Kevin, would you like to say a couple words?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for everybody attending. I think this generation of players are the pioneers of a new concept that U.S. Soccer has put forth in their quest for our nation to reach gold in the World Cup finals. But I think we all know that anytime there's a change, whether the change be in business, whether the change be in leadership, or in this scenario, whether there be a change in sport, individuals have to make choices and have to make decisions. And during this time, those choices and those decisions are somewhat threatening and challenging. So it's my belief that specific environments create different opportunities for growth. And I think that we now have an opportunity in front of us where we're going to start to see different choices made. I think the key ingredient as I look at it, and I look at it from a few degrees, I look at it as a college coach, but most importantly, I look at it as a parent. I think it's important that the different organizations and the different environments that are created clearly state what their objectives are and what their environment is supposed to be inclusive of. And then we as parents have the opportunity to make what we believe is in the best interest of our players and, of our children. So in the years to follow, I think that all the players will have actually a true choice. Because I think, as this has been laid out, I think it puts some of these kids and some of you as parents in a very difficult position. But I believe it's the world's greatest game in the world's greatest nation. I believe it's the responsibility of all of us to ensure that we have an opportunity for our children to express their love for a game in the environment that's conducive for them. I hope that as time goes on, we're all able to accomplish what is our true goal, to see our children enjoy the environments they play in, to give them and afford them the opportunity to be with teammates. And at the end of the day, they're supposed to be playing their sport for the true love of the game. So I look forward to this evening's event. I look forward to the comments of the rest of the panel. And thank everybody for this opportunity.
Our next panelist, also a college coach, is Mike Noonan. He is the head coach at Clemson University. Prior to being at Clemson, he spent 15 years in the Ivy League as a head coach at Brown, where his teams compiled 10 NCAA tournament berths and 8 Ivy League championships. 10 of his players were selected in the MLS draft, and several represented the U.S. men's national team. He's a graduate of Middlebury College, where he was a 2-time first-team All-American. He played professionally in Sweden before returning to the U.S. and playing for the indoor leagues. He won a state championship here at Staples. He holds a UEFA A license from the English FA, an A license from the USSF, and is a national staff coach for the NSCAA. He's a member of the Connecticut Soccer Hall of Fame. Mike?
Did you memorize that, Mark? No, it's great. It's great to be back at Staples. It's funny, I was just telling Kevin that I actually did the pajama game on this stage way back when. So we were multifaceted when we were here. Obviously, the biggest experience that I had at Staples was my time as a soccer player. And obviously, it's now our life's work. It's great to be here, particularly on one end, having the guy who taught me how to play soccer, Steve Bauman, on the panel. And what many people don't know is that Dan Wood was not my high school coach. He was actually my club coach. So when we're talking about this topic tonight, we all evolve. And I think that's something that is a huge point of contention and also discussion for tonight, is what is the evolvement of the game and where's the game going? And as Kevin so rightly put, and my brother talked about, it is about choices. What are the choices that you make? And more importantly, what is the information that's being disseminated to you people to make that choice? So again, tonight is a night to discuss those things and try to inform you a little bit more about what the path is for each one of you children. I had an eye-opening experience the other day. I went on the other side of the fence. My 9-year-old daughter tried out for her first travel soccer team, where there was an actual tryout, whether she makes it or she doesn't make it. And I wasn't conducting the tryout for the first time. It was a terrifying drive in the car to take my daughter to that tryout, because I didn't know whether she was good enough. I didn't know whether she would be selected. So I understand from a parent's point of view, and I think that my colleague Kevin said it right. It's about the choices that we help our young people make, and then the passion that our young people show us as they make those choices for each of them. We'll talk a little bit more maybe about some philosophies and beliefs, but I'm really honored to be here tonight, and thank everybody.